Okay, hello everybody. I'm now in Montana, and it's Tuesday the 12th. So I've been off trail for a couple of days, and I thought I would tie up a few loose ends and give you a couple updates. So when I left Echo Lake, uh, there's a parking lot, and I was waiting at the exit for people to leave Echo Lake, and there weren't many people leaving. It's a trailhead, and it was very busy, but I was there about 20 minutes, and three cars came through, and they all stopped. But two of them were going to Sacramento, so that was the wrong direction. And the third one was headed to South Lake Tahoe, which was perfect, and they gave me a ride. And I want to thank Tin Can and his wife for giving me a ride. Uh, Tin Can, I did spot him down at the store at Echo Lake, and he was section hiking like I was. Very nice couple. They gave me a ride uh, right to the hotel where I was staying. And on the way, we had a good chat. And he said, "I think I've seen you before somewhere." And so we talked a little bit more. And then he realized he'd seen one of my YouTube videos, or maybe more. I'm not sure. But that was pretty cool to meet someone who'd actually seen one of my YouTube videos. I'd never met him before. So uh, spent the night in South Lake Tahoe and did a few things the next day, and then I headed to Donner Pass. I drove up there past South Lake Tahoe or through South Lake Tahoe and past the lake. What a beautiful drive! But it was Saturday, and there was people everywhere, cars everywhere, and people walking and cyclists. You really had to be careful on that road. But I made it to Donner Pass, and the reason I was going up there is because when I start next year from Echo Lake, Donner Pass is probably the first place I stop. There's a ski ranch there, Donner Ski Ranch, and there's a parking lot, and the ski ranch is like within 400 yards of the Pacific Crest Trail. So I wanted to know if I might be able to park my vehicle up there. I could, but they charge like $20 a day, which is no. So I'll probably try and find, well, I will try and find a trail angel that'll maybe let me park in Truckee, which is a few miles away. So when I went into the Donner Ski Ranch, there's a restaurant and a pub, but there's also a relaxation area for hikers. It's actually quite well set up for hikers. So I'm kind of waiting. It's busy, and I'm waiting for someone to get free. And I look, and there's this guy staring at me, and I didn't recognize him at first because he's wearing different clothes. But lo and behold, he was Philosopher, the guy I'd shared the camper van with the week before. And he was sitting there with a couple of friends who'd given him a ride the week before. One was hiking, and her husband was giving them a ride. And so if you have and in that restaurant, if you have a PCT permit, which I did, but I also will next year, they give you a free beer. But the beer is like this big, it's a quart. And anyway, they were enjoying that beer. And it was, again, kind of neat to see Philosopher. So we had a good chat, good visit. He still had some miles he had to do, and then he's heading back to the Boston area. So that's what I did. I stayed at the Donner Donner Pass or Donner Family Memorial State Park that night. Beautiful park, really, really nice setup for tents and RVs. Unfortunately, I didn't consider this or realize it. It was like about half a mile to a mile away from a freeway that goes nonstop to Sacramento. It was just, and that was on one side, and on the other side was a train track. So, really, really nice campground, but unfortunately, just too much noise all night long. And so then I made my way north through Oregon and Idaho, and now I'm in Montana. So a couple of housekeeping items too I wanted to share or correct, I guess, maybe. Um, the other day when I was talking about the family that was on the trail, uh, I was a little peeved, as you could probably tell. But one of the good things about them, I mean, there's always a positive, and the positive was these people getting their kids, probably 8, 9, 10, 11 years old, the two of them, somewhere in that range. Um, they're going to learn the etiquette eventually, I'm assuming. In the meantime, their parents are getting them out and getting them into nature and getting them uh, to enjoy hiking, I think. So, I mean, that's a positive, because one thing I have not seen many children on the trail, even day hikers. Um, so that was a positive for sure. And you know, I don't want to be completely negative, but I was feeling a little peeved at the moment because of the dog that scared me, I guess. So I had to make that point clear, and I probably should have just thought a little bit before I went on my mini rant there. But anyway, so that hike covered a little over 2 weeks. It was 186 miles, and when you couple that with what I did in the spring, it was just under 450 miles this year on the PCT. So pretty happy with that. Body-wise, looks like I'm probably going to lose one, maybe two toenails, which is not uncommon. Happens to runners too. So that's probably, we'll see over the winter, but one of them is pretty black and the other one's getting there. So also no other real issues. My ankle acted up once or twice. My plantar fasciitis acted up one day. When I fell that last day, my elbow's fine. My hip, it's a little sore still, but really nothing drastic, that's for sure. I couldn't even see a bruise there, but felt really good, just like I did after the May hike. I could have kept going, but I think I mentioned this before. Rather than finish this hike on the Desolation Wilderness, which would have been fantastic, I'm going to start next year with the Desolation Wilderness. I've heard so much stuff about it. I was thinking that would be a real motivator perhaps next year to start off on the most beautiful part of that area. So everybody raves about it, and I kind of, it's a little disappointed that I didn't keep going, because I could have, but I guess I'm saving it for next year, and so I'm looking forward to that. The plan next year, we'll see. I've of course, now that I'm gonna be home in a few days, take my time getting home, but when I'm home, I'll be immediately into planning mode for next year. It's just the way I do it. I've been doing that for the last few years, and which is kind of overkill maybe, but you know, I'll watch YouTube videos, I'll read up on the area. I already stopped at an REI store near here to check out a different bear vault system, because I don't need to take the bear can after about the next week. But you should have some system, either a hanging system, or I looked at what's called an sack, which is basically a sack that you put your food in. It won't completely stop bears, but you can hang it on a tree very easily, and it's made of I could be wrong about this, but I'm pretty sure it's made of Kevlar, the same stuff that they make bulletproof vests out of. Anyway, I had a look at one, and they're quite light, so I'll save some weight, but you know, so I'm already prepping for next year. I also stopped and bought some permethrin, which I will use on my clothes next year to keep the mosquitoes and insects down. It's an insect repellent, apparently kills them. And it's kind of important because I noticed a tick the other day. Didn't mention it, but it was on my pack, and I noticed it before I put my pack on. And if I hadn't seen it, it would have been right on my neck. And so I want to make sure and treat my clothes, my pack next year on any hike I go on where there might be ticks or mosquitoes. Just a little extra precaution. So, so that's kind of where I'm at right now as far as hiking goes, and with the PCT. I'm not sure. I don't like to set a goal just yet. I'm not sure if I'll come down twice again next year or just one longer trip. I'd like to do 400 to 500 miles in one shot. I know I can do it, and I think this might be the time to do it because the trail is going to get a little flatter, so that might help. But those are tentative plans. I wanted to thank everybody who's watched. Hope you liked what you saw. I didn't mention this, but I will now, is that my last video, and some of you may have already seen this, but my last video that I did in May was from Los Angeles. I had over 1,000 views. I have no idea how that happened. Maybe the YouTube algorithm created something where more people got a chance to see it, and so they watched it. That was amazing to have that many viewers. It's I don't know why, but at any rate, I'm back to normal now in the number of viewers, and that's fine. Anybody who wants to watch my videos, they're really not as informative as a lot of other hikers that are out there that do it to inform. More like sometimes you'll hear gear reviews or whatever. Mine is more of, as I've said before, it's just my personal thoughts. On that day. And sometimes I think of things a little too late and they never end up on video, but eventually they might. And sometimes I repeat myself. So whatever it is that you're watching, if you're liking it, I hope you like, the scenery. I hope you like some of my comments. And I love your feedback when you give it, and some of you have, and I appreciate that. It's helpful. It's also informative. I found out a few things from people giving me some feedback. So my biggest takeaway from this last trip was it's reinforced my feeling of how much I enjoy doing this. When I spent the money on all the ultralight equipment, which really helped, I was hoping and wondering if that would be a worthwhile expense, and for sure it has been. I'm getting my use out of it, and I plan to do more. And when I'm out there on those mornings that I talk about all the time, how it's not just me, other hikers too. It's the best time of day for any hiker that I've talked to about it. It's the most enjoyable. And you're sitting there on a nice, calm, quiet morning on a rock, maybe looking at a valley, and just taking it all in. It's a really, really good feeling, and I like it, so I want to keep doing it. I enjoyed meeting the hikers that I met. We are a community of, and we've talked about this too amongst hikers of what kind of community we are. We enjoy being around each other, we enjoy chatting, but we also enjoy our alone time, which I do as well. Also wanted to, before I forget, give a bit of a shout out to Linda, who helped park my truck, my vehicle, at her place in Gardnerville while I was hiking. And she came and picked me up at the motel to go get my vehicle. And this is her first year that she's being a trail angel. And so she was picking my brain a little bit, and I gave her, some information, a couple of resources she can look at, because she even started hiking again, like she used to when she was younger, partly because of this. So she does a great job. She did a great job. She's going to be a great trail angel. I hope she sticks with it. So, sorry for the equipment noise. There's construction next door. So for now, that's about it. I look forward to doing more of these videos next year. Unless I hear a bunch of people saying, it's a waste of time. I doubt that. People are too polite. They won't say that, but I do enjoy it. I hope you guys do too.